The views, information, and opinions expressed during the following program are solely those of the individuals involved and do not necessarily represent the views of Access Communications, its representatives, or its employees.
Hey team, welcome to your second workout in the Fit for Life program. My name is Brendan McKenzie and I'll be your coach for today's session. For today's workout, you're gonna need a dowel or a broomstick, something like this right here, a couple of light weights or a couple of soup cans, anything anywhere between 1 to 5 pounds would be great. If you wanna lift something a little bit heavier, you're welcome to do that as well too. We're gonna need a mat for today's workout and we're gonna work hard and have fun. So we're gonna grab a dowel or a broomstick here. So go ahead and grab your dowel or your broomstick. We're gonna do a nice 8-minute mobility set and activation set with that dowel or with that broomstick. So we're gonna start off with the dowel. We're just gonna get a nice wide grip. We're gonna come over and back. So opening our chest and shoulders up, coming around behind the body, back and over. We're gonna go 5 of these here. We wanna keep our arms nice and straight, nice firm grip. Try to keep those elbows locked out if we can. Just open those shoulders up here. 3, 4, I'm gonna go 1 more here, and 5. Excellent. And then from here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our right arm, cross our face, bring it around behind the body, open the chest and shoulders, bring it up and over. If you have to bend the arms to get around, that's all good. All we're trying to do here is get our body moving a little bit better than it was before we started today. We're gonna go 5 aside here. Again, trying to create that mobility from the shoulders. A dowel or a broomstick is always an awesome tool to hit that upper body and get that upper body moving. So from here, what I want us doing is we're gonna rest that dowel, that broomstick across the shoulders, and we're just gonna go ahead and rotate. Okay, so I'm gonna rotate around. I'm also gonna pivot my feet as well too. So that back leg, that bottom toe is gonna pivot as well. That takes the stress off the back, allows me to still rotate. Okay, so we're gonna go 5 aside here. And then holding that dowel on the back, we're gonna hinge the hips. So from here, I wanna keep a small curve in my low back, same amount of curve in your low back as when you're standing. We're gonna press the hips backwards, get a stretch in the hamstrings here, and then we're gonna push into the floor and bring the hips back up. We're gonna go 5 there. Press the hips backwards, stretch the hamstrings, push in the ground, squeeze the bum, bring it up. That's it, we're going 5 here. That's 4. And 5. And then out of this, what I want us doing is taking your left hand, you're gonna hold on here. We're then gonna grab onto the right hand. I'm gonna turn around so we can see it from the back. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull our bottom hand up the back. So we're stretching out the front of the shoulder. And then I'm gonna take that bottom hand, I'm gonna pull the top hand down. So pulling up, pulling down 5 times here. If you can work those hands closer together, work those hands closer together. That's 4 and 5. And then we'll change it up. You can see I have some shoulder restrictions there, so hopefully you guys move a little bit better there than I do, but it's a nice way to improve that shoulder flexibility. So we're going 5 times up and down. That's 3 and 4 and 5. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take that dowel, we're gonna bring it behind the back. So it's here, my palms are facing back behind me, and I'm gonna lift that dowel as far back as I can, as high as I can behind with straight arms. Then coming back down, we're gonna go 5 times there. So that's 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we're just gonna change our grip. So now I'm going palms forward. This time I'm gonna slide up the back and then extend in the back. Pressing here, and then coming back down. Yeah, slide it up, press back, in and down, slide it up. That's 3. This hits different parts of the shoulders that we don't normally hit. We don't often get into shoulder extension back here, but really good for our shoulder health. And then 5 there. And then bringing it back in front, we're gonna do a hip hinge here. So I want us to let that dowel pull the shoulders, round the shoulders. We're gonna squeeze our quads, press our knees back. So we're looking for a nice stretch in the hamstrings here. Let the head fall. And then you're gonna bring your head back up 1 vertebrae at a time. And we're also gonna work this into today's workout as well too with a little bit of weight. So we're rounding the back, letting it all come down, stretch out the back of the legs, push in the floor, pull yourselves back up one vertebrae at a time here. We're going 5 times. That's 3. Round the back. That's 4. One more time, round the back, let it all fall. And 5. Excellent. From here, we're gonna do a forward lunge. Now this one, we can use our dowel or we can use a chair or couch, something stable to sort of stabilize ourselves. So it's one leg forward, one leg back. What I want us doing here is taking this front knee. We're gonna try to drive it forward so it goes forward over that toe in front. I want your hamstring to touch your calf. I want you to take your back leg, press it back, and then we're gonna move ourselves back out of it. Okay, we're gonna go 5 times in there. So I'm lunging in, stretching out the hip flexor in the back side. I get some strength in the front leg, pushing back for 2, coming back in for 3. Make sure you trust the dowel if you're using it or that broomstick if you're using it. That's 4. One more time here. And 5. Excellent. And we're just gonna switch sides for me. So it's same thing, other side. Again, I'm lunging in. I want that knee coming forward. I'm stretching out the hip flexor in the back leg. So try if you can to keep that back leg as straight as we can. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then bringing ourselves back up. I want us taking that dowel up and over the head. So we're gonna come here straight over the body. We're gonna hinge side to side. So now I'm moving into side bend. Coming back up. Now try not to get it from our arms or our shoulders. Try to hinge at the hips. That's 2. 3. 4. And 5. Great. From here, we're gonna put it all together. So now what I want us doing is we're gonna start with that dowel up and over the head. From here, I'm gonna hinge to the side. I'm gonna come forwards. I'm gonna come all the way around. I'm gentle as I move through. Okay, don't use any ranges that we don't feel comfortable with. Once I hit the top, I'm gonna change directions. Hinge, come down, around, other way, coming back up. Same thing almost there. We're gonna go 2 more times each side. I'm really starting to move that body. I can even lean back as I hit the top. Coming around. And one more time each way. Really gives us a good idea of how the body's moving, that upper body into that low back. Excellent. And then from here, just gonna get a little bit of heat going in those legs. So let's go ahead, give me 10 squats. As you squat down, you can press that dowel out, push the floor away, bring yourselves back up. 2. Think about being nice and strong as we come up here. Going 5 more here. 2 more. And excellent. So go ahead, grab some water, and then come back for our first set in our workout. Okay, so welcome back to our first set. For the set, you're gonna need that dowel or that broomstick for our first exercise. We're gonna need a couple of those little light weights, and then we're gonna need our mat here for this set. So I wanna start off, we're gonna go jump squats for me. You're gonna take that dowel or that broomstick, we're gonna bring it across the shoulders. And what this does is it just brings our chest up. We're gonna go ahead, we're gonna go 10 jump squats. So I'm gonna squat down, just load my legs, and I'm gonna push the floor away, get a little bit of power, and then pop right off the ground. If we wanna stay away from impact, we can do the same thing, just regular traditional squats, but we're gonna add that jump in for 10. Here we go. 7, 8, 9, 10. Excellent. As we get those legs warmed up, we're gonna move into a lateral lunge. So just setting that dowel, that broomstick down. What I want us doing here is we're gonna step out to the side. Hips are gonna move backwards. So I'm gonna shift my weight onto one leg, push the floor away, come right back up together. We're gonna go 10 aside here. Pushing, coming back together. That's 4, 5, 6. Every time I'm coming down, I want to think about my hips moving backwards. Weight even across the whole foot. And then pushing, coming back together nice and tall. That's 9 and 10. And then we're gonna go exact same thing here on the other side. Stepping out to the side, hips moving back, push the floor away, bring it back together. That's it. 3, 4, 5. I could also use something to stabilize myself, so never be afraid to grab onto something to stabilize yourself in front, whether it's a couch, a chair, a countertop. That's 9 and 10. And then from here, what I want us doing is grabbing onto those little weights. So option to stand on 2 legs, option to sit in a chair, option to lift 1 leg up as well too. So I'm gonna show us 1 leg up here, okay? And then I'm gonna lift 1 arm to the front, 1 arm to the side, those little weights. We're gonna go 10 there. Balance, standing on a leg is always so good for us. It's good for us to develop strength, good for us to develop balance and proprioception. It's also really good for your feet as well too. Gets those feet working. A lot of small muscle groups in the lower body that aren't often working. That's 10, and then switching sides, same thing. And then it's always good to see how we are from side to side as well too. I'm a little bit stronger on one side than the other. It's 5. We're 8, 9, and 10. Excellent. From here, send those weights down. We're gonna come in a front plank. Now in our front plank, what I want us doing is I want us going into our hollow position. So those that did workout 1, it's a bit of a repeat of a position. I wanna go back in what that hollow position felt like. So I'm gonna think about squeezing my glutes. I want my elbows underneath my shoulders. I'm gonna squeeze my glutes, tuck my tailbone, okay? We're gonna hold here for 30 seconds. So we're gonna start in 3, 2, 1, here we go. Elbows are under the shoulders, squeezing the glutes, pulling my belly button in towards my spine. And then I wanna breathe while I'm here. I wanna think about the muscles around the waist cinching up so we get tighter and tighter. If we needed to, a nice position to do is also from the knees as well. So I can go from the knees on the ground. I can also even go here in a straight arm position, which is a little bit easier on the core, but a little bit harder on the arms. And we're good right there, coming down. So we did 1 set there. We're gonna go right back through that again. I want us popping back up. I'm gonna grab one of those dowels or those broomsticks here. Up across the back and the shoulders, squat down. Let's load those legs. Big jump. Good, setting it down. We're gonna go into those side lunges for me. So just stepping out, hips coming backwards. Again, if I wanna use a chair or something to hold on to, I definitely don't wanna be falling in the workout. I wanna be doing things nice and safe, but thinking about progressing. This is 6, we're going for 10. I wanna go as low as I can while still feeling strong and comfortable. And if we wanna use weight on this one, heavier weight, we could do that as well too. This is 10. Good, then switching sides, same thing on the other side. Hips coming back, push the floor away, bring it back up. I want my toes straight. I want my hips to sink back so I get in line with that knee and that ankle. Two more here. It's 9 and 10. We're going back, those little weights. Got that front and side raise here. Again, I can stand on 2 legs and do it, or I can stand on 1. Whatever knee is up, that arm is gonna come out to the side. Get a little bit of balance in the foot and the leg. Nice and tall, nice and strong. This is 10 here. And we're switching sides. Same thing on the other side. I want to plant that foot under the body. I want to be nice and tall. Bring that knee up nice and high. Seven, oh, I'm losing my balance. 8, 9, 10, excellent, good. Last one in the set is that front plank for 30 seconds. So again, I want elbows underneath the shoulders. I'm gonna squeeze my glutes. We're gonna go in 3, 2, 1, here we go. Nice and strong. Make sure you're breathing here. Your heart rate will be up. I want to try to keep everything in straight lines as well too, so I want those elbows under the shoulders. I want my hands straight out from that. We got 10 more seconds here. There, 3, 2, 1, and good. Coming down. All right, completed the first set of the workout. So go ahead, grab a sip of water, and then come right back. Hey team, it's Brendan McKenzie with your second tip of the week. This week's tip is to set goals. So once you've gone and raised your standards, then what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to set goals, and I want you to get clear on your goals. Make it as clear as possible so you know exactly what it is that you want. And then once you've done that, write down why it is that you want it. Write down all the reasons why it's important to you. That'll motivate you to go out every day and be excited about achieving those goals. Okay, we're back with our second set of today's workout. We're gonna start off with a lateral hop. Now you can also just do a lateral step as well too. So stepping together and then balancing on a leg. But if that feels good and we can add a little bit of power, a little bit of impact to it, then I want us to go on lateral hops. We're starting there, we're going for 10 aside, so it's 20 total. 1, 2, I can be smaller, I can go bigger hops, that's it. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Excellent. From here, we're gonna go into a Jefferson. Now this is similar to what we did in our warm-up today with the broomstick or the dowel. This time, we're gonna just add a little bit of weight. Big thing we want is we wanna think about squeezing our quads, pressing our knees backwards. That's gonna stretch out the hamstrings. And then from here, we're gonna let that weight just pull our head, our shoulders down. We're coming down as far as we can towards the ground here. Look back between the legs. We're gonna bring ourselves back up one vertebrae at a time. If we're a little bit stiff in the back, we might just do this with no weight. Just try to move through it. We're going for 5 here. So that's 2. This is 3. Hinge at the hips, let it all fall down. This is 4. Really one of the things we're looking for is nice mobility through the spine and through the back of the legs. And this one's 5 right here. So from here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into push-ups. Now, a couple different ways we can do push-ups. I have us using a box right here. So the way we do it with the box is I just go hands on the box. I can use a box or a bench. You can also use a chair, but I'd encourage you to use 2 chairs. So that way we can move our hands a little bit wider. And then big key that we wanna think about when we're doing it is we wanna squeeze our glutes so we're in the same position that we're in our front plank. I'm actually, instead of looking down at the box or the chair, I'm actually gonna look over it. And then from here, I'm gonna lead with my chest. I'm gonna try to keep my elbows in. I'm gonna look over, lead with the chest, and then I push and bring myself away. Now we're going for 5 or 10 here. If this is too easy, I want us to go ahead and then do exact same thing on the ground. So I'd be here on the ground, same thing, lowering down, coming back up. If that's too easy, another modification is you can make it harder just by elevating those feet on the box here. Again, going for 5 to 10. Good. And then giving the arms a break, we're just gonna flip over onto our back. We're gonna go into a reverse plank. So reverse plank, similar to our front plank, just we're on our back. Head's gonna be down, shoulders are down, and then we're gonna engage the glutes. We're gonna lift the hips up off the floor. So bum is up off the floor. We're gonna hold for 30 seconds. If this is too hard with straight legs, bend the knees, lift the hips up, and then we're squeezing and holding right here. So a couple different options. We'll start in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Again, want to think about being nice and strong all through the back of the body here. Halfway there. And good, coming right down. So from here, just to get our spine kind of moving, I want us doing a thread the needle here so I get a little bit of rotation. I'm gonna open up, find the ceiling, and then I'm just gonna come back, rotate under, look under my armpit. We're gonna go 5 aside here, open up to the ceiling, rotate, look under. Open up, this is 4. Again, just trying to get that spine moving a little bit better. Nice thoracic mobility for 5. Oh, same thing, other side. Open it up. This is 4. One more time. And 5. All right. Bring it back. We're gonna go back to those lateral hops again. So again, I'm either stepping or hopping, small hops or big hops. Here we go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Excellent. Grab it under our weights. We're gonna do that Jefferson curl. Great exercise for the back of the body. We're gonna round the shoulders, let that head fall down. Press the hips back, press the knees back. Bring yourselves back up 1 vertebrae at a time. Breathe in while we are here. Again, I can go lightweight. I can go heavyweight. I can also go no weight as well too. The goal of every workout, we should feel better than when we started. Should never feel worse. And we're going 1 more time here. Hinging at those hips, bringing it back up. Let's set those weights down. We're going back in those push-ups again. If I'm using the box, I'm here, I'm looking over the box, nice and strong, my chest goes through. I push that box away. Modification, if you don't have a chair or a box around, you can go from the knees as well too, so I can be here. Okay, coming down. Big key is I want that head up though. Okay, we're going for 10. Excellent. We're gonna flip over onto our backs. We're going in that reverse plank. Nice thing with that push-up is there's a whole bunch of different levels of progression. So a lot of times we'll say, oh, I can't do push-ups, but usually all we need to do is just use a different level of progression and then work our way up. Okay, so we're gonna start here in 3, 2, 1. Let's go in that reverse plank now. Hips are up, you're holding for 30 seconds here. Again, head is down, hips are up. And as I'm coming up, I'm not arching my back to stay up. I'm thinking about squeezing my glutes. So that's really where we want to feel most of the work here. Breathing while you're doing it. You got 10 seconds. And good, coming down. Excellent. Last thing here is thoracic mobility. We're going back on all 4s. This time what we're gonna do is we're gonna take one leg out to the side. I'm gonna take my right leg, I'm gonna bring it out to the side here. And then for here, what I want us doing then is taking that right arm, we're gonna open it up. So I'm finding the ceiling, then I'm gonna come back, rotate, look under the armpit for 5. That's 5 right there. And then switching sides, same thing on the other side. So I'm bringing that left leg out. Open up to the ceiling. Thread the needle, look underneath the armpit here. Excellent. Going back here, kneeling. So last workout we ended with a puppy pose with hands on the box, and then using that as our last stretch. For today's stretch, what I want you guys finishing off with is you can use a box or a chair. Okay, I want it inside, and then we're gonna do a hip flexor stretch here. So I'd like us ending off here with at least 1 minute each side. So it's my left knee down, my right knee up. I'm gonna think about squeezing the glute on the left side, so I'm gonna engage that glute, press the hips forward, and I'm looking for a nice stretch in the hip flexor in that back leg. I'm just gonna leave you guys with that one. You guys can stay here for 1 to 2 minutes each side. Thanks for coming out and working out with me today. Again, you can reach us at or find more information about our programs at level10regina.com, and we'll see you in the next workout.